percentiles. Now the way percentiles works is that the pth percentile is a value such that approximately p% of the observations are less than this value, and approximately 100 minus p% of the observations are greater than this value. For example, if we say a value is in the 60th percentile, that means that our p is equal to 60. So what this means is that 60% of the data is less than this value, and 100 minus 60, which is equal to 40% of the data, is greater than this value. Now there are 3 steps to calculating a percentile. The first step is to arrange the data in ascending order. Which means from smallest to largest. The next step is to compute an index we write our index as I, and it's equal to p, which is the percentile we're looking for, divided by 100 times n, which is the number of values in our data. The final step says that if our index I is not an integer, we round up to the next highest integer and take the value in that position. Whatever the next highest integer is, we take the value in that position. That is what position it is when the data is ordered from smallest to largest. Now, if our index I is an integer, then we average the values in positions I and I plus 1. Now let's take a look at some examples. So let's say we want to calculate the 20th percentile for this data. So our p here is equal to 20. So the first step here is to arrange the data in ascending order from smallest to largest. So we have 15, 20, 25, 25 again, 27, 28, 30, and 34. That's step one. Now step two is to calculate the index. So the index is p over 100 times n. So our p here is 20. Our n is the number of observations, which is 8. So 20 over 100 times 8 is equal to 1.6. So our index is not an integer. So we follow part A of step 3, which says we round up to the next highest integer. So we round up to 2. So now we look at what's the value in position 2 when the data is sorted from smallest to largest. Okay, so we can simply number our values. So 15 is in position 1, 20 is in position 2, 25 is in position 3, and so on. So the value in position 2 is 20, so that is our 20th percentile. Our 20th percentile is equal to 20. Okay. So what this means is approximately 20% of the data is less than 20, and approximately 80% of the data is greater than 20. Now let's take a look at another example. For the same data, let's calculate the 25th percentile. So our p here is 25. Our data is already arranged from smallest to largest, so we can skip to step 2, which is calculating the index. The index is going to be 25 over 100 times 8, which is equal to 2. Now our index here is an integer, so we follow part B of step 3, which says that we want to average the values in positions 2 and 3, because 2 and 3 are I and I plus 1. So our 25th percentile is going to be equal to the value in position 2, which is 20, plus the value in position 3, which is 25, divided by 2, which is going to be equal to 22.5. So our 25th percentile is 22.5, which means that approximately 25% of the data is less than 22.5, and approximately 75% of the data is greater than 22.5.